Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. So back in about 2016, I did a pretty popular video about the new Liberty and when it came out. And I was pretty impressed. And I'm a Vespa guy. I like my vintage Vespas, I like the fast Vespas, and I like the sprints. I borrowed a demo back in 2017, 2016, and with friends went all the way down to Mexico, did a river crossing, and I was impressed. It's a good all-around package for just a regular scooter. You know, if you're looking for the classic Vespa, well, this is not going to please you. But if you're looking for a quality scooter at a good price point, I don't really think anything else beats the Liberty. A Honda PCX, little S-Max from Yamaha, yeah, those are great products. I don't really like the seating position. Same with the ADV, they're kind of a very different style of scooter than these kind of big wheel style that the Liberty goes after. So yeah, maybe it's for you, but finally the Liberty has got a little upgrade for 2026 model year. These are 2025. We have actually both models in the showroom. The amazing thing is price hasn't gone up. So the standard base model, which is this white Liberty right here, $32.99, and if you go to the Liberty S, which usually is a premium color, has some extra little finishes, usually black wheels on it, a couple other little things, $33.99. So $100 more for the S model, same as the outgoing Liberty. So there's quite a bit that they've changed up on it though. The body has subtle differences all over. There's a new method of mounting the windshield. They bolt into these little black plastic covers. The good thing is the factory windscreens, both the short one and the tall windscreen that we'll have soon, they're also at a lower price point, and there's just much more to offer. Obviously, the most obvious thing is the visual change of the headlight. You may think it looks like Tron or something a little bit more futuristic, but we took one out last night and the headlight works really good. It's a nice dual beam LED assembly. They finally got rid of that incandescent headlight assembly, which kind of pretty much no scooters use regular bulbs these days. Unfortunately, the nice built-in indicators aren't used and replaced with these American style pods. I've had a video on how to do it. It's pretty much probably the same steps for the front. The rear is a little bit different. You have pretty much the same size tires, same size brake as the outgoing Liberty. You have a new kind of angular sporty design wheel that also goes with the rear. They kind of re-engineered the rear wheel where it unbolts from the brake drum, kind of like a car wheel. Kind of a welcome addition for easy serviceability. It's got the new Euro 5 Plus engine, so it uses the new standard OBD interface. It's got the throttle bias built into the engine or onto the engine. Pretty similar output to the prior generation, a little bit quieter. As I typically do when I talk about these scooters, I'll start in the front, kind of restyle the front grille a little bit, but the biggest addition is the dashboard. It's definitely a new multi-function unit, really easy to read. Kind of, it looks like a big color LCD, but it's actually a backlit standard LCD. That's just really easy to read, kind of like the standard new GTS and standard Primavera dash. Has a lot of nice new functions, much like all the Vespas, like miles per gallon, 2 trip odometers, miles to empty, voltage, the odometer, your speed, and the fuel gauge. And it also interfaces with the optional Bluetooth module. Not really a big fan of adding Bluetooth to your scooter, but that is possible with the new Liberty, and it integrates with the dashboard as well. It's got a little light sensor on here, so it changes the look and the color of the screen based on the ambient light, so it's not blaring bright at night, but a nice subtle kind of techy look at night, and then in the daytime it brightens up for easy readability. Has a nice new mode switch that allows you to toggle through the trip odometers, the miles to empty, your average speed, trip time, and so on, real easily with the switch. It's pretty easy. All they do is add a little software in there and You add a lot of new functionality. All the other switches are pretty much the same affairs. Turn signals, push to cancel. In the center, you got the horn. It's got the electronic lock for the seat. See the headlight. Kind of lights up the outer two for your high beam. Pretty good design. It works really good. Kind of like the Piaggio 1 electric scooter. For some reason, that thing had an incredible headlight on it for a scooter. And they kind of carry that over with these new Liberties as well. A really good headlight. Stuff I don't like about these new mirrors, yeah, they may look sportier. They do have the new 10mm threads like all the Vespa, so it's a much more robust system, so you're not going to be breaking them off in the perches. But they're kind of small and close, which is great for lane splitting, but not quite as good of visibility as the old classic lollipops that were found on the outgoing Liberty. Floorboard, all that's the same. Even the floor mat's the same if you want to put the rubber floor mat. These trim pieces have changed. I like this new satin chrome. And they're well thought out. Like these bumpers on both the front and the rear, they protrude pretty far to protect the bodywork. And so in the event the scooter falls over, you're just going to be replacing inexpensive parts, a lever, a grip, maybe some trim pieces, and not the expensive painted bodywork. So definitely designed for economical use, because eventually, sadly, every scooter is going to get knocked over at some point in its life. Seat's been slightly restyled, 2 different textures based on if it's the S or the standard. The glove box is pretty much the same size, but there is a new USB port in there for charging your phone. And probably the best and most utility thing that they add to it is a factory standard extra large flat rack. So nice and large, you could drill it out for an aftermarket top case. But better yet, you could buy the new, more affordable factory top case that also has a color matched insert that goes with the black top case. You no longer need this special adapter plate, it just bolts right to this factory rack. Moving on to the rear, they have a nice slender new exhaust system instead of that kind of bulbous round one, more reminiscent of what's found on the Primavera and Sprint. The tail light, it's all LED. Unfortunately, again, they had to add the pods. Maybe down the road I'll do a video, because there is the LED elements for the turn signals in there. It would look pretty sporty with just the built-in LEDs versus the pods. You get a 4-position preload adjustable rear shock. Get your passenger foot pegs. And underneath, you get a generous underseat storage bay. Some new badges on there, and pretty much for the same price, you're getting a little bit extra, is the way I think about it, on an already excellent scooter. So check out my prior video of the new Liberty back in 2017 and my day ride of the scooter. If you're wondering how fast these go, they're good for about 60, maybe 65. Good just urban commuter, and you're not going to be slowed down like a 50, although they do sell this in a 50cc, but here in California, that's not very popular at all. So we just have the 150s, but in some markets, you may not need a license for a 50, but certainly in California, you do. So it may make sense to get the less expensive and slower 50cc variant, which also does have a fuel-injected motor, just like this 150, which is a good thing for better fuel economy. And if you don't use a scooter over the winter, it's going to start right up like it was started 2 days ago. Some not too much technology like some of the new Vespas. It does have ABS on just the front brake. So if you do a panic stop, give it a handful of the front brake. That's probably going to be the best way to stop this pretty quickly. The rear brake's just a classic traditional mechanical drum. Nothing wrong with the drum brake, especially a mechanical one. They're just super low maintenance. The shoes last literally forever on these. The service intervals, first service comes up about 1,000 kilometers or 625 miles. And then thereafter, it's every 6,250 miles, so every 10,000 kilometers. And it's kind of a more major service. They recommend replacing the dry belt, adjusting the valves, and the air filter and oil, of course. You have some other fluids like the brake fluid and the gearbox that you also need to eventually service. But generally they're pretty low maintenance. The larger tires tend to last a little bit longer than some of the scooters that have small diameter tires. Rocking a 16-inch on the front and a 14-inch wheel for the rear, a little bit wider tire on the rear. Pretty good setup. As for anti-theft, Vespa's always had like the most advanced anti-theft. I mean, all the way back to 1996, they've had immobilizer keys. So there's a chip in that key. So it's pretty hard to drill these locks. You can lock the steering, take this out. Even if somebody punched the ignition or hot wired, they're never going to ride off with it because it has a chip in the key. That could also be a negative because here at Vespa Motorsport, we'll charge about $55 as a 2025 to duplicate a key. And if you lose them, it's going to be even more. All right. So if you're looking for a quality name brand scooter with a 2-year warranty that gets great fuel economy and it's just economical to operate and purchase, the Liberty is the way to go. If you're here in San Diego, check them out at Vespa Motorsport. But if you're looking for even more of a bargain, some dealers even have the outgoing 2025 or 2024 model year Liberties, and I'm sure you'll get some extra deals and even promotional financing possibly on the prior generation. Pretty much going to have the same ride and feel, but without some of the new techie updates and styling. So thanks for watching. Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. I hope this video was informative in your decision making and maybe buying a new scooter. See you on the next one.